You're bringing us news. So you introduced legislation today to put campus protesters, students and faculty on the TSA no-fly list if they call for violence against Jews. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, Liz, very simply stated, if you want to act like you're part of a terrorist organization, if you want to support a terrorist organization, if you're spewing hatreds towards Jews or anybody, then we want you to go on the no-fly list, just like the terrorists are. These people are a threat to other folks. We should take them at the word. Listen, I was just on a campus in Kansas talking to Jewish students, so concerned about their own safety and well-being. These protesters are following them into the student union. They're following them into the schools, into the business school, where they're having classes as well. So this is a very real threat to Americans.
You know, we've got this too coming in. That's interesting what your legislation you introduced, because, you know, President Biden today did denounce anti-Semitism. He said his commitment to Israel is ironclad. But what do you make of Senators Joni Ernst and Ted Budd saying and questioning that Biden delayed an estimated $1.3 billion weapons shipment to Israel, didn't notify Congress? Israel's still battling Hamas. Hamas is still holding U.S. hostages. Israel has faced existential threats from Hamas and Iran. Hamas has committed horrific sexual violence against Israeli girls and women. So why delay the shipments?
Right. So again, Americans need to watch what he does, not what he says. He says one thing, he does another. This is why we wrote a letter yesterday to the White House asking them more specifics. Exactly what did you do with these weapons? So I think it was a little bait and switch trick by the White House. They got Congress to vote for their Ukraine funding, their Israeli funding, and then they're probably diverting these weapons that were meant for Israel and sending them to Ukraine, which has always been this White House's priority. Look, you cannot support both Iran and Israel. You have to choose one or the other. This president clearly chosen Israel, whether it's releasing them from economic sanctions, letting them sell oil to Russia, all sorts of things this president has done to help Iran. He has never stood beside Israel, and I think that's evident to all Americans.
You know, spokesman John Kirby just yesterday claimed the delay was not happening. It is happening. Wall Street Journal is reporting, other reports coming in. It is happening. You know, President Biden, he is facing a key test. I think he has to deliver a mandated assessment to Congress on how Israel is using the weapons. But what we're also seeing, that what else is happening is, you know, Israel's military said it did seize control of the crossing at Rafah into Egypt. Terrorist activity was detected there. 3 tunnel shafts were detected there. So Israel stopped basically the fighting. That's what they've been doing to bring in food, water, doctors. Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, other Arab nations won't take in Gaza refugees. Watch the son of Hamas commander saying Hamas's last-minute ceasefire proposal is a trap, and he's talking about the dangers of not removing Hamas from power. Watch this.
If we don't end Hamas and remove them from power, like at least to remove them from power, we are going to have many other wars.
What do you think, sir?
You know, absolutely, that's true, that their children and their children's children are going to be continuing this war. I mean, this has been going on now for decades, for centuries as well. If it wasn't for Joe Biden, this would already be over with. Joe Biden has stalled Israel from ending Hamas as we know it. America needs to be standing beside Israel, strongly standing beside them, and ending Hamas for all practical purposes. So Joe Biden's passive activities just aren't going to work.
Got it. Senator Marshall, thank you so much. We'll be following your legislation.